Okay, so backlog, what you're actually seeing in backlog here is the number of customers that are in the current month that are still in backlog when you close the month. And in this case, we're looking at April, and today is May 14th. So we still have, this is live right now, so we still have 24 customers that have not been started but are showing in backlog for this branch. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So if I click on to start percentage, then what this does is helps us to see the where we're at. So start percentage in the Cognos dashboard, it tracks every sale that is made, in this case, every residential pest control sale that is made during the month of April, and then it tracks to see what happened to them. So even several days into May, we could still have services that are in backlog, but are in backlog, but are not yet started. So in this case, there is 3 services that are not created that are still sitting in backlog. That were sold in the month of April. Okay, so there was 152 sales in the month of April, 3 of which were downsold. 117 of them were started, so their start percentage is 77%. And that percentage could go up slightly if these 3 other starts actually are started. But of course, it's 2 weeks into May now, so personally I'm more skeptical that those are going to be started. Those are probably going to end up as backlog cancels at that point in time. So this is a great report. This is one of the ones that I use the most on the homepage, and so it tells me, again, I don't spend much time looking at the creative because it's typically we're only entering a sale if it was sold, and we're starting a huge percentage of those. Our opportunity areas, starts that are sold, that are leads that are sold, and they're sold by, well, actually any source, but they just came to us via a lead. And so there was 32 backlog cancels, and this is only as good as the information that you put in about it, but other is the biggest reason for backlog cancel according to this, what was keyed in here. That's not that helpful. But if I look over here at speed of start, I do know that, again, my start percentage here, the faster that I start business, typically you'll see the higher the percentage. Now at a branch level in a particular month, this may not be true. Like you can see, it would look like, hey, if you wait 3 to 30 days, then your start percentage actually goes back up again. I don't think that's actually true. I think it's just an anomaly because you're talking about a relatively small number of sales that qualify for that. When you review this report at the division or company level, then the more days that it takes you to get business started, the lower your start percentage is. So same day starts usually pretty high probability. If we get there on the day that it was sold, it's very high likelihood that we'll get the business started. But you can see what the mix is of the percentage. So 42% of our business that was sold got started in the first day, of the day after it was sold. If you add them both together, you can say 65% of our business got started within the same day or the next day. So it gives you some good insight on what's going on. That's something that we really don't control. It's sold and scheduled right away at the sale. So that's a part we don't control. But what we do sometimes control is whether or not it gets rescheduled. So this bottom part here is the rescheduled. So in this branch, if it was not rescheduled, then they had an 80% start rate. But the 6 that did have to get rescheduled, none of those got started. So in this case, it does show you that, hey, I want to try and not reschedule it. I want to get it done on the day that it was serviced. A good goal for this, and really our company goal, has been 85% start percentage. And by looking at that, I would say, hey, I don't want to reschedule starts. I want to get them done on the day. In that way, I would get to 80% for this branch. And I want to get them started as quickly as possible. I don't want to drag them out. And I'd really try and spend some time looking deeper into why these backlog cancels happen. So if I click on this backlog cancel, the blue link, I can get into some deeper detail. Maybe I want to go into Boss and look up these accounts or see if it's the same route number that's responsible for multiple backlog cancels. Maybe get some greater detail on what happened in those situations to figure out what I should improve or work on improving. So that's the starts report. And let me find my way back to my home page.